Megan Thee Stallion just woke something up she can't put back to sleep. Nobody in this situation fired the first shot. Nobody dropped a diss track. Nobody ran to a podcast to talk crazy. All it took was one laugh, one quick moment on TikTok Live that barely lasted 10 seconds. And the person on the other side of that laugh did not react how anyone expected. She didn't respond with bars, didn't throw up a caption, didn't even hint at a comeback. Instead, she reached for something that had already shaken Megan before and let that speak loud and clear. But here's the part people are missing. This wasn't some quick reaction. This was something already sitting there, ready to go, like it had been waiting for the right moment for years. That laugh cost way more than anyone realizes. Here's where it really started. Cardi B dropped an album, and on it was a track called Pretty and Petty. On that track was one line, just one line aimed straight at BIA. The line hit simple but sharp, asking people to name 5 BIA songs under pressure. That one moment turned into a wave online. Crowds got quiet at Cardi's shows when it played. People started posting, laughing, making jokes, turning it into memes, and BIA had to watch her name get treated like a punchline. That alone could have sparked something serious. But then Megan went live on TikTok. She's just sitting there getting her hair done, music playing, nothing intense, just a normal moment. Then Pretty and Petty comes on, and Megan laughs. Not a small laugh, not something you could ignore, but a loud, full laugh that filled the whole room. Everyone around her was laughing too. Stylists, people in the room, all of it got recorded and spread everywhere.
Then she posts a selfie of herself and she makes sure to include Nicki Minaj's Bigfoot, right? And she makes sure to play the portion of Bigfoot where she says, lying on your dead mama, lying on your...
And here's what most people didn't catch. BIA has been dealing with this kind of energy way longer than people think. She got signed back in 2014, but her real breakout didn't come until much later. Even when she started getting recognition, even with major features and big collaborations, she kept getting compared instead of respected on her own. Always measured against someone else, never fully given her own crown. So when that laugh happened, even if it wasn't meant to hit personally, it stacked on top of years of being overlooked, years of fighting for a spot that never stayed still. But what BIA did next, nobody saw it coming. She didn't jump on a track, didn't call names, didn't go back and forth online. Instead, she pulled out something way more calculated and let it play. That quiet move, that calm energy, that's not someone acting off emotion. That's someone who already had a plan locked in. And nobody was really asking the right questions. Why that move? Why that exact clip? What did she already know before any of this even happened? The pieces were there, but nobody was connecting them yet. Now, here's where the story gets twisted because most people got it completely wrong. The public version sounds simple. BIA saw Megan laugh, got upset, responded, and that's it. Just another quick celebrity moment people will forget soon. But that's not what really happened. BIA didn't just play any track. She picked Bigfoot, and not just randomly either. She went straight to a specific line, one that hits deeper than anything else tied to Megan in public conversations. That's not random. That's targeted. Think about that for a second. That's not someone reacting off feelings in the moment. That's someone who already had everything lined up. Someone who knew exactly which moment to bring back and when to use it. Someone who had been paying attention way before that TikTok live ever happened. And she didn't stop there. BIA posted a screenshot, not of the music, not of Cardi, but of Megan sitting across from Gayle King, one of the most talked about interviews tied to her public image. That choice alone said everything without needing extra words. The internet split instantly. Some people were saying BIA didn't even need to speak, she already said enough. Others felt like it crossed a line that shouldn't be touched. Opinions were divided straight down the middle, with no clear side winning. But here's what nobody was really talking about. How did BIA have all of this ready so fast? That Gayle King moment wasn't just any clip. It included something Megan admitted on camera, something that had been debated for a long time. And BIA brought it right back into the spotlight with a caption so short and controlled it didn't need explaining. She let Megan's own words speak again, clear as day. But what people still hadn't gone back to check, what nobody had fully connected yet.
Like, you know, I would have been like, so, okay, yeah, I did that. I like to what about it? But the way like they have villainized me for being this type of person, it started to make me second guess myself. Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that. She's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I this like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my.
Was that this wasn't even the first time BIA had aimed in Megan's direction. Let me break this down in a way that sticks. Picture this like an old situation that never really went away. Two people had an issue a long time ago. One came out on top, the other didn't. Time passes, things cool off, people move on, or at least it looks like they did. Then suddenly, a new moment sparks up, and instead of starting fresh, one person pulls out proof from the past and says, "Look what already happened." That's exactly the kind of move this was, and once you see it that way, it hits completely different. Look what this person does when things get real. That's the move BIA pulled, clear as day. She didn't bother writing a diss track because she didn't have to. Nicki Minaj had already delivered one of the hardest hits aimed at Megan Thee Stallion, and BIA simply pressed play. And by doing that, she actually made a sharper move than dropping her own verse. She reminded everyone watching that Megan has been in this exact position before, already faced this kind of pressure before, and last time, that same energy didn't land the way people expected. So now, BIA is bringing back something the whole internet already recognizes, something people remember clearly. And that raises a question nobody is really saying out loud. Why use something that already played out before? Unless winning isn't the main goal, what if the goal is to bring everything back up again? Just 11 seconds, 3 quick hits, and not a single new word added.
Tory's team actually came out with a statement and said that the fact that Megan lied about her sexual relationship with Tory is obviously makes her an unreliable witness. If someone lies in front of millions of people, how can you trust what they say any other time?
Now it gets deeper. Because Tory Lanez's legal team had already laid groundwork that BIA could use. After Megan's documentary dropped, after certain statements were said on camera, his team responded officially. Not rumors, not online talk, but formal legal language calling her an unreliable witness. That's not gossip, that's something written into record. And BIA used both pieces together. In one Instagram story side by side, the song and that interview screenshot. No long caption, no extra explanation, just posted calm and steady like someone who had been holding on to this for a while, waiting for the exact moment to use it. But the real question is, why was she so ready? Why did this feel planned out instead of random? Because this didn't begin with a TikTok live. Think back to when the Tory Lanez trial was happening. Everything online was split. Some people believed one side, others believed the opposite. People were choosing sides before all the facts were even clear, and right in the middle of all that, while Megan was on the witness stand speaking about a serious situation, people across the industry were watching and reacting. BIA wasn't silent about it either. When people online started calling out certain reactions, saying some artists were making light of a serious moment, BIA didn't step back. She didn't soften her stance or stay quiet. She responded directly to those defending Megan, and her response came off cold and direct. A serious situation was being discussed in court, emotions were high, and instead of backing off, BIA doubled down with a message that made people stop and look twice. She told critics, "Go to the courthouse then." That one line said everything about where she stood, and now looking back at everything happening, it hits in a completely different way. That's not a hot take. That's not someone chasing attention. That's a clear, documented position BIA has held on Megan Thee Stallion for years, way before anything happening this week. And that right there is what changes this whole story.
Enough. People have uncovered that BIA has been throwing shots behind the scenes at Megan Thee Stallion for some time now. Okay? As you can see in this screenshot here, this was back during the court case where Tory Lanez ultimately got convicted and is serving his sentence in California. So this commenter says, tasteless, regardless if you meant to be harmless or you just have a jokester personality, this wasn't an event to be playful with. Read the room seriously. Hazel E, Baby, Emily B, and BIA. You all should be ashamed of yourselves for laughing at another woman's pain. Now, I don't remember whatever this video was. I guess they did some type of parody of what happened between Megan and Tory. I never knew this happened. But as you can see here, BIA says, girl, go to the courthouse and support her. The keyboard activist is not helping.
Because right now, most people covering this are acting like it all started from a TikTok live a few days ago. Like Megan laughed, BIA reacted, and that's the full story. But that only makes sense if you weren't paying attention years back. BIA was never neutral. She was never just watching from the sidelines. She picked a side during that trial, stood on it publicly, and never switched up. Think about what that means for Megan. That laugh wasn't aimed at someone random or someone slightly irritated. That laugh landed on someone who had already been on the opposite side of one of her most serious public moments for years. Someone who watched everything unfold and openly dismissed the people supporting her. That TikTok moment didn't create a new problem. It gave space for something old to come back out loud. And now Megan is facing something familiar. The same kind of pressure, but this time coming from someone who's been locked in that position long before most people even noticed the tension. So now the real question is, does Megan respond? Because if she does, and with an album on the way, this could turn into something even bigger. BIA didn't just respond, she basically passed the moment right back into Megan's hands. Look at how this all connects. Cardi B drops a track and throws a line at BIA, performs it everywhere, and the crowd reacts every time. Megan hears it, laughs on live, and that moment spreads everywhere. Then BIA answers using something tied to Nicki Minaj, pulling in a whole different layer of history. And on top of that, there's a legal angle being referenced in the middle of a rap situation. Now, Megan is right in the center of all of it. This isn't just two artists going back and forth anymore. This is bigger than that. It's like a divide running through the entire space, and multiple names are now tied into the same situation, whether they speak or not. And BIA didn't just step into it, she made sure people noticed. But here's the part nobody is really saying yet. That track choice, it didn't land the first time the way it was expected to. The response back then didn't go in its favor, and most people agreed on how that played out. So bringing it back now, that's either a bold move or a risky one. Because by doing that, she reminded everyone that Megan has already faced this kind of attack before, and kept moving forward anyway. So now the situation flips into one simple question everyone watching is thinking about: what happens next? And that's where everything tightens up, because now it's not just about who said what, it's about who moves next. Megan. The Stallion has two options sitting right in front of her, and both come with pressure. She can ignore it, act like it's noise, keep moving like she's been doing, or she can step in and respond directly. But let's be real, ignoring something like this doesn't make it disappear, especially when the whole internet is already watching. And if she does respond, that's when this turns into something explosive. Because now you're not just talking about a quick back and forth, you're talking about layers. Cardi B is already in the mix with that track. Nicki Minaj's past words are being pulled back into the spotlight. BIA is standing firm on a position she's had for years, and Megan? She's right in the middle of all of it with new music on the way. That's not small. That's a moment that can shift attention across the whole scene. And here's the part people can't ignore: timing. Everything about this feels like it's happening at the exact moment it could hit the hardest. An album coming, old clips resurfacing, sides being remembered, and voices getting louder. That's not random energy, that's pressure building. But pressure does one of two things. It either cracks something or it creates something bigger. And Megan has already shown before that she knows how to stand through noise. That's not new. What's different now is how many angles are coming at once and how calculated some of these moves feel. Meanwhile, BIA already made her play. She didn't flood the timeline, didn't drag it out, didn't over-explain. One move, clean and direct, and now everyone else is reacting to it. That kind of silence after a move like that's what keeps people watching. So now everything slows down for a second, but not really, because behind the scenes, decisions are being made. Is this gonna turn into a full response, a track, a subliminal? Or does it stay exactly where it is, just tension sitting in the air waiting for the next spark? Because one thing is clear, this was never just about a laugh, and whatever happens next, it's not going to feel small.